So welcome back to Teaching Jobs Korea, and today we're here in the location of Songpa, which is a great area in Seoul, and we're here at a hagwon called Lanpus English Academy, which is a school I've been working with for a long time, and it's also a school that has established a solid foundation in Korea. The school provides a great location, organized managing staff, and a great program for the kids. And joining us today, we have teacher Stephanie and teacher Ryan to give us some information about the school's program, curriculum, and working environment, and they'll also be sharing their experience about working and living in South Korea as well. Stephanie, Ryan, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, my pleasure.
I guess just to start off, could you just give a brief introduction?
Yep, so I am Stephanie. I am the head teacher here at Songpa Lanpus campus, and I've been here since 2023, so not too long, but have also been teaching in Korea since 2020. So I'm originally from the UK and kind of made it my life plan to stay here now. This is home, and I'm absolutely loving my life working at Lanpus. So.
And for those who've been keeping up with our videos, Stephanie did actually have an interview with me a couple of weeks ago. Actually, it was like a couple months ago, right?
Yeah, I know. Time's flown.
Welcome, Ryan. I guess just short brief.
All right, well, yeah, like Evan said, I'm Ryan. I've been working in Korea now for roughly 12 years, or this is my 12th year. I've been working with Lanpus for 5 years now, going on my 6th year. I help Steph lead the native teachers here at Lanpus, and evidently I seem to enjoy it. And living in Korea too, obviously.
12 years in Korea, that's a long time. Did you like go back and forth, or have you been here the whole 12 years?
Yeah, I took a break. After about a few years, I took a break, went back to the States, tried some part-time work. Didn't really, I wanted to keep teaching. What I was doing in the States, it was a little too, as soon as obviously if I lived in the city of the States, it might've been easier, but if I just kind of missed living in Korea. I just wanted to come back. So then I started working for other academies, and then I settled on Lanpus.
How many different academies did you work at? Because you've been working at Lanpus for 6 years now, right?
Yeah, I try to keep it. I've renewed a few contracts at several schools. I didn't work at too many, but first few, only 2 other academies. So I worked a few years at one, a few years at another, and then after about 3 years at my previous school, I just got hired here and decided to just continue working here.
Before you went into Lanpus, I bet you were kind of at a stage where you had accumulated a certain amount of teaching experience, right, at other schools. And I think it seems like you stay at a school for more than a year, right? Typically?
Yeah, typically, yeah. I don't like moving around too much personally, but also, yeah. But I think if I settle in, eventually, I don't want to say I got tired of those other schools, but I just wanted a different experience. And I feel like I kind of get a different experience every year at Lanpus, so. That's
good. So I guess you feel the challenge every year when you're here at Lanpus, right?
Yeah. I think the way we teach here, it's much more dynamic, where we're always trying to constantly adjust to the new students we have every year, and just depending on what their level is at, we can kind of adjust the flow of our school curriculum.
And Stephanie, you've been here back at Lanpus for 2 years now, right?
Yeah, so almost 3. I started mid-year 2023.
3 years, man, time flies.
I know.
And then now you're the head teacher.
Yeah, man. I came in as the sub, and I think that in itself was really beneficial, because I could see so much of the school from that position, and I got to learn about the way that people behave and the curriculum for all of the different years. So you blessed me getting in.
No, I think you blessed us. I guess in terms of the curriculum, obviously both of you have been working here for a few years now, right? And I think in order for a teacher to stay at a school past 3 years, they have to see growth, number one, right? And they have to continuously see challenges in terms of, usually when you work at other schools, maybe smaller, after about 3 years, you kind of hit a plateau where you get too accustomed to things. And some people look for more challenges, or they're kind of at a salary cap. Would you say that Lanpus kind of offers that challenge every year with different students, different programs? And also, is it a school where you can kind of see that excel, within yourself, right? In terms of your development as a teacher?
I think maybe you'll agree, because we're both 7-year-old teachers, that we have certain goals for the year for the kids and what we're measured against. So because of the location of Lanpus, we're very much a Daichi catchment hagwon, so there are certain expectations of parents for the kids, and I think I personally get excited when the kids are taking their SR tests to see the level that they're at, because it kind of shows you how much knowledge you've imparted on them. So it's kind of okay, we've smashed this part, we're doing a really good job, X, Y and Z have got into a Daichi academy, and for us it's kind of fulfilling. And I think as well, because we're both in management positions at Lanpus, we're very heard. Like, we are very able to make an impact on the curriculum. So if there's something that we don't want to continue doing or that we think could be done better, then we, I guess, make the challenges for ourselves so that it helps the other teachers.
Yeah, I think that's one unique thing about the whole like DYB programs, right? Because DYB is a very big company. Lanpus is just like the kinder program, but also Creo and then also DYB. One thing I noticed is that the managing staff that handles or takes care of the native teachers are native teachers, right? Which is kind of hard to see when you're at another school, right? I think in order for that, there has to be good communication in terms of like the higher ups and also, you know, the people that are managing the native teachers. Would you say the communication and support has always been there when you came out, you know, to work here?
Yeah, that's actually a big part of why I kept working here, is how transparent management is with the native teachers. So it's just like, it's very easy to communicate with my coworkers and upper management as well. So it makes just teaching a lot smoother too. So and also just not just from the teacher side of things, it feels just like this working here is just more of like not necessarily the word secure, but like, yeah, secure. Like it feels like you're part of the team, as opposed to like the other places I worked at where it was just a little bit more. Obviously, DYB is a big franchise, like it's a very big company, but also like everybody works together very well. We all try to know each other and learn about each other, and also as opposed to other schools where it was just a little bit corporate, I guess is the first word I can think of, where it's the curriculum set like this, it has to do like this, you got to do this, it doesn't change ever, and because that's how that school does it. And
speaking of the curriculum, I guess what age group does Lanpus Songpa teach?
We teach 5, 6, 7 Korean age.
Which goes into elementary, right?
Yeah, and then elementary we teach between 1st to 3rd grade.
So basically it's kinder programs to lower elementary basically, right? And then the Hanam campus, we shot that like last year, I think. Hanam only teaches kinder from my understanding, right?
Yeah, I think the thing with Hanam is the location feeds into Creo, so I guess they benefit from that in that way, but we're very much a standalone, many options past kindergarten level.
Yeah, like you said, like they transition out of their DYB's elementary program, whereas we are trying to get our kids to into elementary programs, more like revered status elementary programs around the area. The neighborhood kind of affects that too. Yeah.
I guess in terms of like teaching kinder kids, I guess what makes a good teacher at Lanpus to teach the kinder program?
Work hard, play hard.
Determination.
Yeah. I think the thing is with Lanpus is a lot of what we do is, it can be quite intense. We're a very writing heavy academy, and especially in the 7s and 6-2, the books are completed at a fast pace. So teachers need to be ready to put in some hard graft and get the kids working at a quick pace, because working and understanding at a quick speed. But the beauty of that is that we are remunerated, I guess, but not just financially. We have such a good work-life balance, I think, here. And even as the head teacher, and Ryan in his experience too, it's very rare that I would ever take work outside of our working hours, and we don't do 9 to 6 here. We don't have those hours that many other
What are the hours here?
They're 9 to 5, Monday to Thursday, and 9 to 4 Friday. But then as you stay longer, you can leave earlier. So we have the benefit of where we live. I can see Lotte Tower from my apartment. Sokchon Lake is a hop, skip and a jump away.
It comes with the pros and cons. Like the cons being where it's sort of a highly motivated, parents want their kids to do very, very well. Also, that's the pros as being you are in the most population dense area in the country. So there's a lot of you could spend time in a new restaurant every day for a year. It's just the location's nice. Like Steph said, the benefits are nice. It's just a comfortable work environment generally, and life.
I think also stability too. I think, getting paid on time, making sure that you get all the benefits that you're supposed to get within the Korean labor law and stuff, right?
Third reason that I stayed here so long is the lack of that at the other schools that I worked. Yes.
Right, because there's some schools that give like 10 days vacation still. It's like you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Or they just don't pay you.
Or they don't insure you.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then also when it gets to like the second year, your 11 paid annual leave days get extended to 15 days, right? But there's a lot of schools that can't give that 15 days, so they end up just giving cash, right? And I think the system that they have in Lanpus allows, because you have full-time substitute teachers to kind of cover the classes, for teachers to be able to take time off, right? Like a lot of morning programs, it's hard to take days off because it's like pulling teeth, right? You literally have to be really sick, or just making like doctor's appointment. It could be a hassle finding a replacement and makeup teacher.
Yes, this is the first school in Korea I've worked at that has substitute teachers. I remember I remember working at other schools. If somebody gets sick, guess who has to teach more classes?
I think as well, we're so lucky with our principal. Mr. Lee makes this an incredibly comfortable place to work.
Yeah.
And our previous principal, who Mr. Lee recently took over, I don't know if DYB just hired really good people, and then they filter down to us, but I think we've been really lucky.
Also, Lanpus only has 2 campuses, right? Opposed to like the DYB campus where there's like 14 and whatnot. I don't think they made franchise Lanpus yet, like just franchised out.
No.
I think that also keeps the reputation of Lanpus kind of stable as well. I guess what are some things that are important for someone that is interested in, teaching young ones, right? Because, a lot of people that come out for the first time just think that I want to teach kinder because it's a lot more easier on the proficiency level. But I think they kind of overlook the challenges of teaching little kids, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, part of that is, that's part of the philosophy, I suppose, is, starting strong earlier so it becomes easier as they develop in English. So it is, classes can be intensive here. That being said, reason for why I've been saying here is this is the first kindergarten I've worked at where they give kids time to play, settle down, learn. We have a playroom that they can go in once a week. It's sort of it tries to, the work-play balance is there as opposed to other places where it's sort of all work. It's work all day a little bit as opposed to here where it's intense work a little bit, couple blocks, playtime, morning writing, etc., etc. I think it's more of a healthier work-play balance.
Yeah, I think when I tell teachers about Lanpus, I never say there's no workload. Definitely there's a workload, but I think the fact that you can go home at 4:30, 5 o'clock, or 4 o'clock, right? You kind of have half the day to really just kind of recuperate.
Yeah.
Right. And I think a lot of other positions, you'll have the standard 9 to 6 positions where, it's kind of like a packed day, you're teaching 8 classes. And then you got the high paying schools where they give very high salary base, but then, you're working until 6:55, right? I think Lanpus, just from my experience, has a good balance of the working time, but also it stays competitive with salary bases with other big franchise schools, right?
Yeah, like you said, it's as compared to being at other academies, it's where it's the work, you're there until you're there longer hours throughout the week, sometimes even upwards to 45 to 50 hours a week. But your classes are spread out more. So what are you doing until 6:10 if you don't have a class? Obviously you can prep, but there's sometimes it's just sort of inefficient. Whereas here, it's you get all your work done. You are a kindergarten teacher. It's as if you were a kindergarten teacher at any other country. You're a kindergarten teacher, you get your work done, do some admin in the afternoon, and then you go home at 5 or 4 or 3, depending on.
Yeah, that's a big thing. I don't think people really understand that. Going home that extra hour later, then you got to go home, and then that's an hour and a half just to get home. The housing is really close here too, right?
I was going to say an hour and a half. I can get home in 2 songs.
But I know that in Seoul, the housing cost is very expensive. The cost of living here is a little bit more expensive than probably other areas, right?
Yeah, but you can't really compare it to London and New York, so I think we're doing all right.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, Seoul generally, is pretty expensive, but again, like you said, it's cheaper than any of the other bigger metro areas around the planet. But aside from that, even like housing where we live near, you said, you're a 6-minute walk. I'm a little bit farther away, not that much farther. I prefer to walk because I just want to get my 90 minutes of cardio. But otherwise it's a 5-minute bus ride. But I prefer to walk. But other teachers, they obviously they have their own apartments. They live out a little bit further away because again the prices. But generally we live very close by. And also not just living here is a little bit expensive. Not for us technically, but just cost of.
That means they're getting paid a lot.
But not even just, but just cost of living stuff. Expenses too are very cheap. Yeah.
Also, the transportation is top notch in Seoul.
Even compared to other areas. Oh yeah, the Seoul Metro is just so easy. I mean, I know a lot of people like it as far as crowds and stuff, but that's all subways. The Seoul bus lines are very easy. I never it's just so easy to get around here, especially where I live too. There's 2 bullet trains. Greece don't have one, whereas Korea has 2. And we're just a couple stops away from the SRT. Take a weekend trip down to Busan, come back. No, the transportation, that's another reason. Whenever I email a new teacher, I always talk about how easy it is to get around.
I guess also both of you have been working under the Korean educational system in Korea, right? I'm not gonna lie, it's not perfect, right? But I think there's a lot of pros and cons, right? I think if there was like one thing that you can just kind of adjust, what would it be? Just your understanding of the Korean educational system.
I think for me, the fact that we teach the hours that we teach, so the kids are with us 9 till 2:40 prior to any after school, it does make me feel really sad that some of them are at other studying academies until 10, 11 at night. I know that some of them will go to taekwondo or they'll go to football or soccer, which as a kid we would have done until later hours, but I would love it if there was less of the book pressure.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, especially at the very least, obviously the parents can talk individually, one by one, with whatever academy teacher they have in after school. But yeah, I think it is a lot of pressure just for not even just English kindergartens, just in general. You see kids going home. We don't teach them, but like older kids going home at like 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night because of all the academies they have. But again, that's kind of the slight benefits we have here. Again, it is pretty intense here, but at least we try to give the kids like a lot of playtime. We try to worry a lot about their social and emotional development as well here. So I feel like it's kind of not an oasis. I feel like that's overstating it, but I try to make it, at least personally, I try to make it a lot of an easier going thing. And also I try to tell myself this is also childcare. It's not just education. It's like we're also taking care of the kids, parents working 2-income households, things like that. So it's part of.
Yeah, I think teaching kinder there's a high percentage of just understanding who you're teaching and understanding their proficiency level. Like the proficiency of what you're teaching is really low, right? It's just really a matter of understanding how to apply it. I haven't taught it in a long time, so maybe it changed.
Yeah, I'm not sure how low the proficiency is, but
this area should have really smart kids. Like you should have some kids that can be like fully almost native speaking, right?
Yeah, I've got quite a few parents that are actually lived in the States. Some kids even born in the States sometimes and came back here, started, stayed in there, tried to keep their English going, come to stay at Lanpus, keep studying.
Being that you stayed here as long as you have, did you get a chance to kind of like learn the language?
Well, that's kind of part of why I wanted to take a bit of a step back this year, is that pretty soon actually I'm going to have to start signing up for the KIIP. I know some of the teachers here study it already, study already. Test is coming up soon. I do try to study a little bit every day. I've been studying for a few years now. I think the problem, I would say, sort of the con to coming here when you want to like meet Koreans and talk with them, try maybe learn Korean. It is easy to make friends out here, but a lot of Koreans just want to speak English.
Yeah.
So it is hard, especially working at an English academy, hanging out with English-speaking Korean friends, et cetera, et cetera. It is kind of something you have to like take on as almost like not a second job, but something you have to focus on if you want to keep learning Korean.
What about you, Stephanie? Did you get a chance to kind of practice your 안녕하세요?
Of course, I can go beyond that, but I think I would put my hands up and say I'm a bit lazy with it. I've used a couple of tutors and they were amazing, but I don't know, I'm just like, but I teach English all day, I don't want to go home and study, but it's one of my New Year's resolutions. I've still got.
But did you pick up some of like the words that you understand if someone wants to say hello or goodbye?
Yeah. I would say I'm like semi-conversational.
Like the taxi drivers like say something,
Yeah. I know a decent amount of Korean, but not as much as I ought to, I would say.
Yeah, for the amount of time we've lived here, we probably should have far more.
I think as long as you have a basic understanding, you can kind of understand what they're trying to say. It opens up a door of just kind of being able to navigate through it a lot better, right?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, basic Korean would be helpful if you come out.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've been here long enough to understand the Korean culture somewhat, right? Definitely pros and cons about it. I guess what is one part of like Korean culture that you're like, oh, I like this part of the Korean culture?
I love the lifestyle. I love how, I know that if you asked a Korean, they wouldn't agree, but I feel like it's such a free place. There's so much liberty to do what you want, go where you want, up until the early hours of the morning. The cost of living is amazing. The readiness and the convenience, I guess, of convenience stores. In the UK, we don't have that. We have Tesco Express. So for me, I love it. I do like the respect aspect of the society as well. Initially, it was a bit overwhelming, I think, to see the hierarchy and how importantly people put emphasis on that. But actually, do you know what? I think some British people could do with some lessons in respect.
Yeah, I think in the beginning it's kind of hard to understand like the Korean culture of people talk to each other sometimes. But I think if you understand how they grew up and then you understand and you don't take it too, like you can get offended, to be honest with you sometimes, right? But I think if you kind of understand the background of it, then it kind of helps you to at least, not be offended and you kind of know how to understand it and react to it, right? What about Korean food? If there was like a Korean dish that you can just take with you and, take it back, what would be that one dish?
된장찌개.
된장찌개.
I love 된장찌개. They always make fun of me because I love soup so much. Yeah, anything, any kind of soup. I love soups. Like, I mean, kimchi jjigae, doenjang jjigae, stews, any stews. Yeah, jimdak, dakbokkumtang.
You're Korean in terms of your appetite.
You're showing your age, Ryan.
Are you able to eat spicy now?
Oh yeah.
Were you able to eat spicy before you came out to Korea, or did that kind of...
Yeah, I think I always say this. There are some Korean dishes that are super spicy, but most Korean dishes aren't very spicy. But all Korean dishes are a little bit spicy. So like dakbokkumtang, again, it's not super spicy. It's spicy enough, but then there's like dakpad, which is like insane. I don't know why it's that spicy usually.
But also you can get like the levels, right? There's things where you can get levels. What about you, Stephanie?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose in the UK we have different spice. People are going to be like, yeah, I've got nothing in the UK. Indian food in the UK can be extremely spicy, but to me, if I compared Korean spice and Indian spice, they're spicy but differently. I love a little bit of spice. I always go for like the almost top one, the top Dan, when I'm ordering my food, but I haven't quite made it to the top yet.
Don't get too crazy. I do like spicy food out here though.
Do you know how to order food? Do you have like trouble ordering food at like a restaurant, or are you pretty good at it now?
I think nowadays it's a bit too easy to order food out here. Just hit a button on my phone. But ordering.
And most restaurants have tablets.
Yeah, half the restaurants out here have tablets now.
And then a robot comes.
Yeah, exactly.
The people.
You pay at the tablet.
Yeah.
There's no people interaction.
I mean, generally, even not counting all that, it's pretty, you just look at the name. Lots of menus already have English on them anyway, or they'll give you an English menu.
That's because you're living in Seoul.
Yes, yeah, obviously, yeah, sure. But again, it's the benefit of living in this area, so yeah.
I guess, have you learned how to maybe cook any Korean dishes? Do you cook at home? Nope.
Sometimes, I mean, Korean dishes, something don't you get, but yeah, I pretty much have been trying soups, Korean specifically, but otherwise, again, it's so easy and cheap to just order out here too. So why would I eat my terrible Korean food when I could go out downstairs?
And then no tip too. I really like the no tip.
Oh God, yeah. I hate going home.
6, 7, 8 while I'm here. Yeah, it's just so much frustration that I don't have to deal with when I'm out here.
And then also like the self-automated stores, I bet you kind of tripped out when you saw that too, right?
Yeah, actually, I was thinking about that when we talked about. I don't use them too often. They're interesting, yeah. How you can just walk in, nobody's there, you just pay. There's even down the street, there's a self-ramen place. It looks pretty cool. I want to try it, but I always just go home.
You set that up in the UK or in America, that'll be gone in 10 minutes.
Oh my God, you couldn't. You couldn't, never.
I guess just on a final note, are you planning to stay here for like the longer period of time, maybe a few more years? I guess what would you like to kind of accomplish within the next few years in Korea as a teacher, and then also just personal growth as well?
Personally, very easy answer would be speaking Korean, learning Korean, because it's shameful how little Korean I have and how much I should. Professionally, see where the next challenge takes me within Lanpus, because I've told Mr. Lee 1,000 times I've got no intention of leaving. So I think every year our kids are different. We inherit them from the 6-1. Well, for me, I inherit them from 6-1, and abilities are different, their characters are different, and I think every new year is a new challenge, but a fun one. So see what happens.
What about you, Ryan?
No, I do want to end up getting my getting it up to where I get my secured visa. Still would probably want to stay teaching just for the comfortability of it and see. But yeah, I'm sort of locked in this particular school, so yeah.
Well, I wish both of you the growth that you're looking for, and also I appreciate both of you for not only but being a good teacher, right? Staying here for that period of time, that means that you really like Korea and you are serious about teaching. And I hope that whatever venture you have in the future, Lanpus will have a good transition to that next thing that you're going to go do.
Thank you so much.
So thank you for watching today, and we'll be back with more videos. Thank you.